Hi all, welcome to my channel. This is Horlicks and this is issue 32 of Build the Classic Routemaster. Okay, so in this issue it looks like we're going to be dealing with another wheel arch, which is really good. I really enjoyed last week's issue 31, getting those rear ones on. It's just finished the back end off. Well, it hasn't finished it off, but you know what I mean. It just looks a bit more complete, and that's what I like. So, as normal, we're going to go down. We'll take. It looks like there's only one piece, and actually, I think there's some wiring in here. I've just noticed an LED as well. So we'll go down. We'll get this built. Okay, so I think this issue might be coming back to me now from Paint with Penny when we did the live, but we'll see. So I'm going to open this up. I think there's actually a lot more to do than it seems. But let's just wait and see. So I'm going to open this bag and we'll get everything out. Looks like we've got some wiring, some light fittings. There's quite a few little bits in here. Okay, and I'm just going to get the actual wheel arch out as well. Okay, so in this issue we've got 32A, which is a left front wheel arch, which is this part here. 32B, which is a mud flap. 32C, which is a fog lamp, which is this small piece here. 32D, which is the fog lamp lens, just a tiny bit here. We've got 32E, which is an LED cable, and this is a plug, and it's got two LEDs attached to the end. We've got 32F, which is a can. Now I think this is for the screen wash. It looks like an oil can, but apparently, yeah, it's for the screen wash, or no, it's not the screen wash. Sorry, I think it's the overflow for the radiator. Okay, we've got 32G, which are cable grips, and we've got 4 of those just there. And we've got an assortment of screws. We've got some PM screws here. So from memory, they'll be for the mud flap. CM. We've got some GM. AM. And we've also got some DP screws there. So, oh yes, there's quite a bit to do. So let's start off with step 1. So we need to take the wheel arch, and we're going to be adding. I'm just going to change the autofocus because it's on autofocus at the moment. Bring you down a bit for the moment. There we go. So we're going to be adding the mud flap onto the wheel arch, and it's going to go on here where these 3 holes are, and you'll notice that there's this piece sticking out to one side just here. It overhangs, so the cutout in the mud flap is actually going to go on the left hand side as you look at it this way. So it's going to look something like that. Okay. So the first step we're going to do is, we're going to fix that in place with the PM screws. And we've only got 4 in the bag, so we'll be using 3 and then there'll be 1 spare. So I'm just going to get 3 of them out now. And then I'll leave the others to one side. Actually, no, I won't. I'll get my pot out. Let's do it properly. I've run out of room on this. I mean, if we get any more screws, I mean, I was doing all the metal screws along the bottom and all the plastic ones along the top, but I've run out of room and I've had to start coming up here with some metal screws. So I'm running out of room. And I need the PM label, because what I've been doing is I've been sticking the label on the top of the case here, but I've also been sticking them at the bottom, just so when I open it, it's easier to identify. So obviously I've got another PM sticker now, so I'm going to just stick that down in there. Just my little preference. Okie doke, so as we did in the last issue, we're going to affix this on. So we're just going to line that up and take your time, there's no rush, and just line that hole up carefully. Oh, that slipped. It went through the bigger hole, which is fine. Right, carefully line them up. As we say, you've got plenty of time, there you go. And just carefully tease that screw in. And that's gone in. Start screwing when you know it's in the hole, otherwise you could damage the actual arch. So, I'm just going to grab the other screw and put it in the other far end. And the reason for that is just to line it'll then line that middle hole up. You can see straight through it now. Okay, and then when they're done, just tighten those up, not too tight. But I'm happy with that. So, that is the mud flap fitted. The next step is going to take the fog lamp 32C. We're going to identify the fixing point and fix the fog lamp in place with an AM screw. So again, we've only got 2 of these AM screws, so I'm going to grab them out. One will obviously go in the pot in a minute. So we're going to fix the fog lamp on the opposite side from where the mud flap is. And if you turn it upside down, so you're looking into the arch, you'll see there's 2 holes here, and one is for a locating pin. You might just see that, and then there's also a hole there as well. So that's going to pop in. Like so. And then with an AM screw, we're just going to secure that in from underneath. And I'm happy with that. Don't go too tight. That didn't take too many turns, but that is now solid. Okay, and then we have something that looks like that. And I suspect the LED will obviously go in there at some point. whether it'll be today or another issue, I can't remember. So now we need to take the can. So we're looking at this flat edge here. You've got the arch here. We're going to be working on this flat edge here. Okay. We're going to take the can, and there's a hole and then there's a locating pin there. The locating pin is going to go in the holes furthest to the edge. You've got the small one there and then a larger one just next to it. And then we're just going to pop that locating pin in, like so. And then from underneath we're going to attach that with a DP screw. So I'm just going to grab that out, and we're just going to put the AM away. Sorry, the AP, so we don't get confused. Okay, and then we're going to get the DP screws, or one of them, and then carefully hold that in place, and then from underneath we're going to put the screw just through there. Okay, so just go as much as you feel comfortable. For me that's there, that's plastic, but that is now solid, so I'm really happy. And these details are amazing, aren't they? Okay, so that's our finished view for this part. So you've got the can there, and then we've got the fog lamp down there. Okay. The next step is quite complicated, so I'm just going to briefly pause and read this. So we need to pass the LED cable along the inner edge of the wheel arch. And through the notch near the cam, circled in red. Identify the 3 fixing points. Align the 2 holes on the frame. Right, identify the 3 fixing points for the wheel arch. 2 screw sockets on the end of the arch align with 2 holes in the frame. Okay, yeah. So you've got 1 hole just in there, and then you've got another one just here. The hole on the side of the arch aligns with the hole on the left beam. Okay, so it must be talking about this hole here. Fit the free end of line in the can and the free end of the power steering pipe into the socket. Right, okay. I think they've sort of overcomplicated those instructions, I think, for what we've got to do. So I'll grab the chassis up. I'm just going to move this out of the way just for the moment. I'll grab the chassis up and then I'll try and explain what we need to do. So okay, so this is where we need to be working. Okay, and I'm just going to get some bit more light. Hopefully that's a good clear picture. So we're working on this side. You've got this pipe that sticks out there. I'm just going to adjust the focus as well. and we've also got this steering pipe here. So we've got to be careful because this is very fragile here. And what we're going to do is we need to take the LED, and obviously the plug end is going to be facing the back. Obviously we want the LEDs towards the front where the radiator is. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put those cables, move you up a bit, down through that notch like that, and then we're going to carefully fit this into place. Being careful obviously not to damage this power steering pipe. Okay, so that all sort of fits like that. So you've got the cables going through that notch. You've got the power steering pipe above, just here, resting at the moment. Obviously the LEDs come out through the bottom, and then that will eventually run along there, but we'll deal with that in a moment. So once all that is actually in place, we are going to screw that in with 3 GM screws in the 3 fixing points. Okay, so I'm just going to grab the GMs. So we only need 3 of those. So the fixing points are where I said earlier. So we've got one just here, and you'll see because it will line up with the frame. And I'm sorry if my hand gets in the way for the moment. Right, so what I'm going to do is just put them partially in, and the first thing I've noticed is that it takes a lot of turns to get it to go in. So you've got that one there, you've got the one just down in there. Okay, and then the last one goes, now we need to be really careful because of the power steering pipe. Let me move these cables, these should be loose at the moment. It's this raised hole just under that power steering pipe there. So I'm just going to nudge that out of the way very delicately, and then screw that in whilst holding that. And what I'm actually going to do is screw that all the way while I'm holding that pipe, because the other screws are in place now. So that is nice and solid. Let me just move this up, and then I'm just going to screw the other 2 firmly in position. That is now solid. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to carefully, the pipe that's coming off the top of the radiator here, we're going to put down, and we're going to put it into the top of that bottle, like so. And then we're going to just position this power steering pipe, and there's the cameras were not very good. There's a hole just there where my finger is. You should be able to see just there. So we're just going to put that power steering pipe, bring it back, and carefully that in. I don't think that's gone in, so I'm just going to use the back of my screwdriver just to give that a bit more of an even. Yeah, there we go. That was really tight. But that has gone in. So that pipe then goes into that hole. So that's solid now. Okay, next we need to take the 4 cable clips, identify the fixing points. So the fixing points are right, we've got one there, you've got one there, the 2 holes just there, and you've also got 2 down there. And looking at it, they are going to be really that's going to be quite difficult to get to. So I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to bend that pipe slightly. So hopefully it won't break. But again, that's a classic thing. Why did we fit that? It's my fault. I should have looked ahead. But why fit this in? I mean, there's no way that's coming out again without breaking it. So why didn't we put that in before securing that down? Okay, so what we need to do is have the cable along. Oh, so yeah, we're going to bring the cable up, pull it through, because the cable itself wants to sit in this sort of recess here. I'm just going to bring that cable label down, the cable label. Okay, and it wants us to sit this nicely in the groove along here. So I'm happy that that plug is roughly in the position it wants. And we'll be able to adjust this later on. So what we're going to do is get one of the cable grips, and the locating pin is going to go in the larger of the 2 holes, like so. I'm just going to quickly put this GM screw away because we're done with those. So using a CM screw, going to get them out, we can then secure those cable grips. So I'm going to bring you up, and then obviously I'm going to start here. That's the best I can get. We're going to start here, so I'm just going to hold that in place and then carefully just line that up, and that is going in. Perfectly. So yeah, the reason I've started here, as I say, is so we can get this plug in the correct position, because then hopefully when we run it back, it will allow us enough length on the LEDs this side, if all goes to plan. Okay, so we're going to do the same. Up this end. So I'm just going to grab a cable grip, pop the locating pin in the hole furthest to this outside, and then again with the CM screw we're just going to secure that into place. Okay, and that actual that's weird. The actual oh no, it's because it's pulled back. Yeah, so that's good. So there is still movement in this, even though they're gripped down. So if we need to make any tiny adjustments later on, that isn't going to be an issue. Okay, so then we're obviously going to carry on. Again, the locating peg is, I'm just going to pop those wires in between. The locating peg goes towards this side again, and then the screw more towards the middle. So again, I'm just going to get that started. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, so this is a bit more tighter. So it's worth getting them in the correct position. There we go. That should be okay. Yeah, it's worth getting that in the correct position because these are actually a lot more tighter to fit. Okay, and then I'm going to use my tweezers now and just get in between there and get those cables in between the fixing points. And this is going to be quite tricky, I can just see it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the screw onto the driver and then put the screw through the hole. And then I've just twisted that in very slightly. Luckily that holds it. And then I'm going to try, I'm going to have to use tweezers, try and sit that into position. Oh wow, I think that's actually just gone straight in. No, it hasn't. I thought that was too easy. No, but that's gone in. That's second time lucky. That's not bad going, is it? Perfect. Okay, there. I'm really happy with that. So that has gone in lovely. Ooh. Okay, so the next step, we need to turn the subframe upside down so you can see the back of the fog lamp. Okay, so this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky because I don't want to really rest it on the top of this engine. And last time I used some DVDs, didn't I? But I've put them away, so the next best thing is a Star Trek model. I haven't built it yet. I got it cheap off the marketplace on Facebook. Yeah, it's the Voyager, and it was nice, a very good buy, really cheap, and it's new. So hopefully I can just balance that without crushing it too much. There we go. Then we're going to be working over here by the fog light. says fit one of the two ends of the LED cable into the back of the fog lamp. Okay, so now I don't know if you can see this. I have one LED that's very slightly longer. I'm going to choose to use that one in here because this is going to be quite a tight. It's going to be quite a tight fit. So I think the best thing to do is I'm going to turn the wheels because then you've got more access. I'm going to fit that in, and then carefully supporting the front, use some tweezers in the middle between the cables. Perfect. And then just push that home. That was a really good tip. So where the excuse the pun, where the two wires connect to the actual LED, just get a tip of your tweezer through the middle of those two connections and hold the front, and you can use that as a bit of leverage to push that LED home. Okay, and I'm really happy with that. Now the only problem being is that when the wheels are fully turned, that's rubbing on that. So I'm just going to bend carefully, just bend the pins on the LED. It doesn't tell us to, but that's what I want to do because otherwise it's going to rub. Yeah, see now the wheel's free, but it's very close. Okay, so once we've done that, we're going to take the lens, and that is just going to be a push fit connection onto the front of the fog light unit. I'm just going to polish that off on my t-shirt, and that is a lovely fit. Okay, so let me bring this down. You can see now we've got that on, and then you'll see where I've had to bend the LED slightly, because when you put this on full lock, then you can see that it only just misses it, but that is free now. Before it was rubbing on the tyre. So obviously when you're moving it around, if you know, obviously it'd be on the shelf, but if you ever have to move it around, I'm not sure how abrasive this would be to the actual connections and the wires, but as you can see, that moves freely now, and that clears that cable. So okay, and then once we've done that, that is actually the finished view for this week. So I'm just going to leave that LED just hanging out the bottom because we'll have to deal with that later on. So I'll be back in a second. I'll show you the finished view. Okay, and as you can see, this is the finished view of that side. So we've got the fog lamp fitted, wired up to an LED. We've also got the wheel arch on, and that just finishes that corner off nicely. And then if I just move the camera around for you, this is what we've got on the top. So we've got the LED wire that we fitted, starts here with a connection along the frame, up behind the power steering pipe, into another cable clip, which was quite tight to fit, and then it goes down into that hole. And then obviously we've also fitted the bottle, and then we put the pipe from the top of the radiator into the top of there. Okay, so that was, as I say, that was it for issue 32. I hope you enjoyed watching that as much as I enjoyed building it. That was a really good issue. I really enjoyed that. Anything to do with electronics I love, and all the little details and everything. It is a really, really, really nice model. And any of you who are watching that are thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I really recommend it. It's been an absolutely fantastic build, and just the attention to detail is absolutely amazing, and everything goes together really nicely as well. You'll notice I've stopped using the oil as well because you know, there was a few screws on the chassis itself that was quite tough, but when we're working with these little bits, I seem to have the screws seem to be absolutely fine. So yeah, that's it. Um, I think there's a typo in the magazine because a little sneak preview. It says on the back, coming in issue 33. Okay. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But it says the fuel tank, fuel filler with cap and safety bars are fitted to the subframe. The safety bars were to prevent people from rolling under the bus, as you do. So the thing is, I've got issue 33 here, and it doesn't look like there are any safety bars. We've got another wheel arch for the other side. So I think the back could be a typo. But never mind. I think the what this is referring to perhaps is issue 34, although I'm not 100% yet. It's in the box, and it's actually, the magazine itself has actually been cling filmed to a really stiff bit of card, and there's some long bits in it, so I think they're going to be the safety bars. So anyway, enough twaddle. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you wish to buy me a coffee, there is a link in the description below. Thank you so much for those that have already bought me a coffee. Yeah, I'll see you next week.